In this lecture, we will discuss what is inbreeding and what is outbreeding. What are the different types of outbreeding also we will discuss, right? Now let us see what is inbreeding. I have taken the content from the NCERT. We will look into the content and we will see the explanation, right? So that we can finish off it faster. Now we know breeding means mating among the animals. Inbreeding means breeding within the same breed. Jersey cow with Jersey cow, Sahiwal cow with Sahiwal cow, right? So breeding between the same breeds is called as inbreeding. So mating of more closely related individuals. So they are closely related to each other, right? Within the same breed. We have to do the breeding within the same breed, and the individual should be closely related. For how many generations they should have the common ancestors, they should have the common descents, they are related by descents, means at least for 4 to 6 generations, NCERT says. Now in the examination, if they have given you 2 to 4 generations, then it goes wrong. In inbreeding, at least a minimum of 4 to 6 generations they should have the common ancestors, they should be related to each other, then we call it as an inbreeding. So inbreeding means mating of closely related individuals within the same breed. So the important point here is, in inbreeding we do between the same breed and they are closely related individuals. For how many generations? 4 to 6 generations. I have underlined the key sentences, key words here. So if they tells different breed, it is not inbreeding then. If they tell 2 to 4 generations, it is not again inbreeding then. If they tell they are not closely related individuals, again it is not inbreeding, right? Now, how do we do it? So in inbreeding strategy, we need to select a superior male and a superior female. For example, if you are taking cattle, in cattle, what do you mean by a superior bull? In cattle, what do you mean by superior male? Superior male means it is superior bull. So we call it as an elite bull. We call it as an elite bull. So what do you mean by elite bull? Means its sperm is good and it gives a better progeny when compared to the other bulls. It gives a better progeny when compared to the other bulls, then it is called superior bull, elite bull. Now, if we have to select a superior female, what do you mean by superior female? Superior female in cattle means in terms of more milk production. In superior male, we are telling the sperm is more stronger, it will give better progeny, superior progeny in the next generation. Superior female means it gives more milk. So like that, you have selected one superior father and superior mother, and we mated them. They belong to the same breed, Jersey and Jersey. They belong to the same breed. Then we get the progeny, right? So the progeny obtained after this breeding, are evaluated. Means we are sitting and we are looking into the characters, and because we need to breed again them. So that is why we will evaluate the progeny. Again we will pick one superior male and superior female. In the progeny, again we will pick one superior male and superior female. Anything which is recessive, we will try to eliminate it off. So we will evaluate the progeny and again we will pick superior male, superior female, and again they are further mated. When you further mate them, again you will get further progeny. Again in that further progeny, you will evaluate. Again you will select a superior male and superior female. So you have to repeat this for 2 or 3 more generations. 2 generations already got repeated here. Repeat this for 2 or more generations, then it will become 4 to 6 generations. Like this, when we breed among themselves for 4 to 6 generations, then you get a superior male and superior female. Then they are called as inbreeding varieties. Right? Now, since we are doing the breeding among the same breed, what happens? Pure lines means they will have the same genes. We call it a homozygosity. Homozygosity will be maintained. Pure lines can be obtained. Means whatever is there in the first generation is there in the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth generations also. So by doing inbreeding, pure lines are obtained. Homozygosity is maintained. The genes will be the same from the first generation to the sixth generation, and the genes are pure. Zygosity remains the same, and every time when you are evaluating every time when you are evaluating, you are selecting. And what are you evaluating? You are checking for some recessive characters, some harmful characters, and you are eliminating them. And we are picking only superior characters. Selection helps in exposing and elimination of the harmful genes, the recessive genes. Since you are throwing off all the recessive genes, you are removing off all the recessive genes, it results in accumulation of superior genes. That's what we call superior male and superior female. In every generation, when we sit for evaluation, we see which are harmful genes, which are recessive genes. We will not pick that progeny, we will pick the other progeny. That means accumulation of the superior genes will happen because of selection. Therefore, we can tell inbreeding approach, in each selection it increases the productivity. In every first generation, second generation, third generation, in every generation we are going on keeping increasing the productivity of the inbreeding population. Understood, children? See the advantages. See the advantages. When you are doing breeding within the same breed, the natural breeding is possible. They easily breed among themselves. That's the first advantage. The second advantage, pure lines can be obtained, and which results in homozygosity, and harmful and recessive genes can be eliminated. At the same time, we can tell superior genes can be accumulated, right? So these are the advantages of inbreeding. But then, what is the disadvantage of inbreeding? So, continuous inbreeding. For example, if your mother is cooking the same dish every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, every day, if she's cooking the same thing, that monotony, so you don't like it. You want to have an other taste, like that. Breeding among the same variety, breeding among the same breed, it leads to inbreeding depression. They get depressed, they get suppressed, they don't want to do further crosses, right? So disadvantages, continuous inbreeding leads to inbreeding depression. Continuous inbreeding leads to inbreeding depression. What is depression? They lose their vitality, they lose their vigor, the productivity decreases, the fertility rate decreases, means almost you can tell they become infertile, they become sterile. Okay now? So means if you open your box Monday, same dish is there. Tuesday, same dish is there. Thursday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, all same box. In the same box, same content is there. Then you don't prefer to open it only. You don't prefer to taste it only. So in the same manner, they don't prefer to mate only. So it's called inbreeding depression, which will reduce the fertility rate, which will reduce the productivity. So we can tell it as vigor is reduced. That vigor, that activeness is reduced. The vitality, the liveliness will be reduced. So then, if such becomes a problem, inbreeding depression, then how to overcome the inbreeding depression? How to overcome the inbreeding depression? We can go with outbreeding. In outbreeding, the first method is outcrossing. What is outcrossing? In outcrossing, we will mate between the same breed. But we check that they are not having common ancestors. They are not having common ancestors for the previous 4 to 6 generations. If they are not having common ancestors, but they belong to the same breed, Jersey with Jersey. So when you breed, then it's called outcrossing. So a single outcross can remove inbreeding depression. Let us write down. A single outcrossing. A single outcrossing can remove inbreeding depression. What is outcrossing? Outcrossing means mating between two different breeds. That's called outcrossing. In order to overcome inbreeding depression, we have to go with outcrossing. Now let us talk about outbreeding. In outbreeding, we have 3 types again. One is outcrossing, second one is crossbreeding, and third one is interspecific hybridization. Children, what is inbreeding? Inbreeding means, let us take this example. If the mating is done between the similar breeds, right? If the mating is done between the same breed, this is blue and this is also blue. If mating is done between the same breeds, what do you mean by breed? It appears the same. It appears the same in appearance, in configuration, in size, shape, everything. That is inbreeding. Now then, coming to outbreeding, we have 3 types of outbreeding. The first one is outcrossing. Now, what is meant by outcrossing? Outcrossing is between the same breed. So this time I took a separate blue marker. This is also blue marker and this is also blue marker. So crossing between the same breed. This is also blue, this is also blue, between the same breed, but they don't have the common ancestors. They don't have the common ancestors for the past 4 to 6 generations. Then that is called outcrossing. See here, what did we write? Mating of animals within the same breed. See, these two are the same, right? So mating the animals within the same breed, but they don't have common ancestors. Either this one, male, or the female, they don't have common ancestors on either sides. For the past 4 to 6 generations, they are separate. They are produced by separate male and female. Then that is called outcrossing. And we take outcrossing as a best method. If you want to increase the average milk production, take an average variety and we can improve the milk production. Take an average growth beef and we can increase the growth production. So outcrossing is the best method to improve the milk production, to improve the growth rate in beef cattle. And inbreeding, if we do continuous inbreeding, it will lead to inbreeding depression, we told. In inbreeding depression, the vitality and the vigor will be lost. It will lead to sterility, right? So then if we want to overcome inbreeding depression, then we told that take the breed and cross it with the same breed which is not similar. So which doesn't have common ancestors, which is called outcrossing. Means a single outcrossing will overcome inbreeding depression. One outcrossing will overcome inbreeding depression. It will get its vitality, it will get its vigor, it will become fertile again, and it will actively grow. Children understood? So outbreeding is of two types. We discussed about the first method called outcrossing. Outcrossing means first we need to understand what is inbreeding. Inbreeding means between the same breed, which are exactly same, which have common ancestors also. This is inbreeding, but it will lead to inbreeding depression. So to overcome this inbreeding depression, we have to cross the organism with the same breed. It is blue color only, with the same breed, but they don't have common ancestors. So then it is called outcrossing, and it's the best method to increase the milk production, taking an average variety, to increase the growth rate, taking an average growth rate in the beef cattle. Now we told a single outcrossing will overcome inbreeding depression also. Now let's talk about the second method of outbreeding. It's called crossbreeding. What is it called? Crossbreeding. If outcrossing is between the same breed, then crossbreeding is between two different breeds. Crossbreeding is between two different breeds. So this is Jersey and this is Sahiwal. Two different cows when we breed it. Jersey has a superior quality, right? What is the superior quality of Jersey? It has huge growth rate. It has huge growth rate. It has massive plant body. It has massive body. Whereas if we take Sahiwal, Sahiwal is having disease resistant character and it gives good amount of milk. So when we take two different breeds, then the progeny will be hybrid for both the characters. So crossbreeding will take a superior male of one breed and it is mated with the superior female of another breed, right? So we took one breed in the superior male, another breed, it is different, another breed which is superior female, and we crossed. So the progeny will be hybrids and the progeny will be superior to both the parents. So allows desirable characters of two different breeds to be combined. The desirable character from this breed and the desirable character from this breed will be combined, and the progeny will have the hybrid characters, and these hybrid characters we can use them for commercial production. You can use the progeny directly for commercial production, or if you want to generate such type of progeny in many number, then we can subject it to inbreeding. Then we can take it and we can subject it to inbreeding so that we can maintain the lines, right? We can maintain the pure lines of that new breed. Understood, children? That is about crossbreeding. And if we have to take an example for crossbreeding, so a new breed of sheep has been produced. A new breed of sheep has been produced by taking Bikaneri Eves and Merino Rams. Bikaneri Eve is a female sheep, Merino Ram is a male sheep. So when you take two different breeds, one is Bikaneri breed, other one is Merino Ram, and when you cross it, you will get a new breed. The name of the new new breed. It's called Hisardale, and this Hisardale will have the characters of Bicaneri Eve also, will have the characters of Merino Rams also. So the desirable characters of this and this will be combinedly seen in Hisardale. So it gives better quality wool also. It can survive in any climatic conditions also. That is an advantage of Hisardale. Third type of outbreeding is interspecific hybridization. Now, outcrossing is between the same breed but they don't have the common ancestor, and crossbreeding means it is between two different breeds. And interspecific hybridization means between two different species only. Between two different species only, right? That is called interspecific. Species hybrid you are getting, so that is why it is called interspecific hybridization, in which you will take male of one species, female of another species, we will mate them. Normal mating, if it is not possible, artificial mating we do, induced mating we do. Now the progeny will have characters of this species also, progeny will have characters of this species also. Best example for interspecific hybridization is mule and hinny. Best example for interspecific hybridization is mule and hinny. Mule and hinny both are produced by crossing donkey with horse. Mule and hinny both are produced by crossing donkey with horse, but mule is produced by crossing male donkey with the female horse, MD with FH, like that you remember. So mule is produced by crossing male donkey and female horse, whereas hinny is produced by crossing male horse and female donkey. It is opposite. Come on, tell me. If we do interspecific hybridization between male donkey and female horse, what do we get? We get mule. And if we do hybridization or interspecific hybridization between male horse and female donkey, we get hinny, right? Of course, but what happened? The disadvantage of this cross is both hinny and mule, both of them became sterile. Both of them, they became sterile. Mule and hinny, both of them became sterile, but then they are commercially used. It is having characters of horse also, it is having characters of donkey also. It can run like horse, it can carry the load as good as donkey. So horse can run, but it will not take the load on it. Donkey can take the load on it, but it cannot move fast like horse. Whereas hinny and mule, these are commercial varieties which can have both the characters. It can run like horse also, it can carry the load like donkey also. But unfortunately, both of them are sterile. Why they are sterile means, if we see, like donkey has 62 chromosomes and horse has 64 chromosomes. Donkey has 62 chromosomes, horse has 64 chromosomes. Now, when male donkey is producing sperm, meiotic division will be done and the sperm will have 31 chromosomes. The sperm will have 31 chromosomes. The female horse, when it is producing the egg, meiotic division will be done and the egg contains 32 chromosomes. Half of 64 is 32, half of 62 is 31. So then mule and hinny, both of them will have 31 plus 32. So what is the sum of 31 plus 32? 63 chromosomes. Mule and hinny, both of them, they have 63 chromosomes, right? Now this 63 chromosomes, because of this disturbance in the chromosomal number, it became an odd number. It became an odd number. Because of this odd number of chromosomes, they cannot make sperms and eggs with even chromosomes. So that is why mule and hinny became sterile here. Understood, children? Mule and hinny became sterile because of improper distribution of chromosomes in them, because donkey has 62 chromosomes, so male donkey will give 31 chromosomes in the sperm. Female horse has 64 chromosomes. In egg, after meiotic division, the egg will have 32 chromosomes. 31 plus 32, it gives an odd number, 63 chromosomes. Because of this improper arrangement of 63 chromosomes, both of them became sterile, but commercially they are having use. What is the commercial use they are having means? So they have both the characters of donkey and horse. They can run like a horse and they they can take the load like a donkey, right children? So we understood about outbreeding. Under that we discussed outcrossing, crossbreeding, interspecific hybridization. Each one has its own advantage. What's the advantage of outcrossing? A single outcrossing will overcome inbreeding depression. What is the important point we should remember about crossbreeding? Bicanary Eves, which is female merino ram sheep, which is male. When we crossed it, we got a new breed called Hisardale. Interspecific hybridization, we need to remember about mule and hinny, which are obtained by crossing two different species only, right? So usually two different species, they don't cross with each other, they don't mate with each other. So we need to induce mating between them so that we get the commercial varieties called hinny and mule. Right children, hope you enjoyed the lecture. In the next lecture we'll talk about MOET, multiple ovulation embryo transfer technology, and beekeeping. If you like the content, like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.